Hi and welcome to another video by yours and only Paradox Arrows, and today we're gonna go through the Zodiacs. But before we get into the Zodiacs, I'm gonna look at their stats and whatsoever. I want you to be aware of that this is purely my recommendations if I say what you should do and shouldn't do. But the Zodiacs has in particular been a topic that has not been in a clear direction of line how you should do it. So I've been asking around a lot what the more experienced people think about it and how they tackle the issues. So the Zodiacs you find at the character screen and the bottom ones, and as you start getting into each rebirth level you will actually unlock more Zodiacs on the go. The very first thing you have to keep in mind is that the upper row, it has magical attack bonuses the most. As you can see, the very first one, Aries here, it gives you 20 per upgrade, and let's see what the next one gives. It's going to give you 21. So this is basically for the magicians, the upper row. It's going to yield the most stats in magic attack, and that's definitely what you would like to go if you're starting out. And you can see when I first started out, I just put it in a few points in Cancer here. The reason why was that it gave the most physical attack and the max HP at that early level, and I just wanted to use my activate 3 Zodiacs a day. But the middle row, you will have more defense focused Zodiacs, and this is usually what they say is the row of the mercenaries. But since mercenaries and acrobats sort of share the same stats, they gain attack from both strength, I like to just call it the more defensive approach. You get the HP, you get the death, and you get some physical attack. While the bottom row, it's purely about the physical attack. It will boost that up. I think this Aquarius is going to be the next one to go because it has the highest amount of HP as well. And I sort of like HP and physical attack, but of course defense are good as it starts to add up as well. So my recommendations for mages would be the Aries and Taurus ones. They seem to be the most attack giving ones in form of magical attack. You can see that they both give 20 and 21 depending on what level you have. There's also discussions how far you should upgrade them in that sense that when you get through all the stars, you will have the opportunity to get into activation stage 2, or upgrade it to grade 2 from Soulbound Diamonds. And this is what I want to cover next. Should you make them into the next activation stages and have a higher percentage to get new stats, or should you just go to grade 4 as soon as possible? The approaches I'm seeing today is that there are people who prefers to get all of them through grade 1. They would take the Aries grade 1, they would take the Taurus all the full to grade 1 and just continue the first activation stage on all of these. But as you can tell, I haven't done that. There's also a recommendation that you should funnel your points in one grade only, and that is what I have done for the acrobats. I decided to go with unlock grade 4 as soon as possible. So you see, I made them all yellow and went up here until grade 4. And this usually discourages people, since you can see at this point I have only a 1.4% success rate to actually get all of these stats. But as soon you get into the next activation phase, you will have a bit of increased success rate and get more stats per star. And what really impresses me is the grade 3 green stars. If you look at the bonus here in the upper right corner, you can see that I nearly get 4.7k attack, 2.56 magical attack, not that that matters for my class, but an immense boost of 39k in HP. And the cost of unlocking this star is at 58k Stardust, and it has a 60% success rate. This is a very tempting page for me to get, but I'm sort of holding my principles here, but I will continue to grind until I unlock the 4th one, because I'm very keen to see what the last one would offer there. What is worth to keep in mind is that this approach that I'm doing is basically the long run. I will miss out the short run significant boost. You can even see here at my total stats, if we take the grade 3 one, I get a total of 100k HP from all Zodiacs combined today. And you can even see that this single star alone would boost that HP with nearly 40%. 40% of everything I have combined, I have a 16% success rate of. But I'm sacrificing that gain for a long run shot, which would be the 4-star one. There is a second approach that is also recommended, and that would be that you take 2 star signs at once. So you would level like Sagittarius, and you would level Aquarius if you are an acrobat. I like the Aquarius because it sort of gives a nice boost of attack and HP. So what they would recommend me to do is get both of these to like grade 3 and keep them side by side up. But I'm sort of still on the approach of just funneling points here. It's what I prefer, what I want to try out and see how it pays off in the long run. So, to conclude everything I've said today, you start to realize there are many ways of doing it. What you have to remember is that the upper row, mages, the middle row, defense or mercenaries, the bottom row, acrobats, and attack focus. So even if you're a mercenary, you could go in to the bottom row and get more of attack. Many people do different ways. You can take and upgrade all of them one by one. You can go grade to grade. You can take 2 of them and go grade or into activation phases. But what I have been recommended to do by more experienced player is to stick to 1 or 2 subjects at the most and just get into the next grades without going into the secondary activation stages. So I hope you do find some useful information from this video. If there is anything else you would like me to cover, just make sure to use the comment section down below. I have less of content upcoming. I'm trying to figure out what you would like to see on a character like this, but my next one is definitely going to be a bit more pro tactics when it comes to funneling stat points, I mean attribute points. So with that said, feel free to experiment with your Zodiacs. You can tell me what you're doing today and how your stats are being affected by it. But I would like to finish this video up with wishing you an all great day, and I will see you in the next one.